Good evening. We are now one day after Parashat Ki Tissa. I will start with the parasha. I also like to speak about confidence in Hashem, something that we from time to time forget the importance of it, and also some interesting things from nature. And if the time will allow, I also will speak about the splint in our body. There's some interesting things about that. But before I start with the parasha, a few things that are happening in these days in the world, especially in Israel. If you heard that for a few weeks already, or maybe perhaps months, there is a flu, a special sickness for the chickens, chicken flu. I don't know if flu is the right word, because when we hear about flu, nobody really dies from flu today, people. But when it comes to the chicken, it's a life risk. And as we speak, since they found it, I think on Thursday, which is 4 days ago, already 500,000 chickens were killed in Israel in the last 4 days. You know, 500,000 chickens in Israel, it's like you say in America, 5 million chickens, approximately, the same ratio. There are a few problems with this. First, that now everyone who buys chickens and eat in Israel, if he doesn't cook it very well, it's a life risk. He can get the sickness and die. Or if you make sunny side up egg, when it's not 100% cooked, the yellow, it may get the disease. So therefore, people who now eat chickens in Israel, they have to cook it very well, and if it's eggs, they have to cook it very well. The problem is that a lot of the kosher stuff we buy here in the supermarkets are imported from Israel. So now they announced today that everyone who has in his home chickens from the last week, which is the date that they produced it, was in the last week, and it just arrived to the store now, it's not recommended to even eat it. You understand? I don't know, maybe they're jumping too fast, maybe they're paranoid. When it comes to your life, you don't take risk. Even there's a 1% chance, you better be careful until see what's going on. The sad part with these chickens is, there's two things that we have to speak about. You know that when God created the world, man was created last. Moments before Shabbat started, that means the end of the 6 days, Adam was created, and then Eve, and then he made the sin, and Shabbat started. We all know that. Everything that was created in the world was created in the 6 days. Also the chickens, the fish, the animals. One of the reasons that animals are created is to use them. We use the fur, we use their skin, we use their meat to eat. We use them for all kinds of things. We make medicine sometimes from their body. We all know that. But there's another reason why animals are helpful for human beings. There are different ways that a person is being reincarnated after his death. One way is being reincarnated in another human's body. He has a different name, different hometown, different parents. Everything is different. It's the same ex, the same soul in a different body. And now he has another life term somewhere else. And it's like a student that failed in a test and he's going through the test again. That's more or less how it is. We can achieve more, we can achieve less. Sometimes it would be better off not to be reincarnated, because in the previous life you achieved more than this. You will regret that you had a second chance. It would be better off to take the punishment and the good from the previous life and not to come back again. But this is a reincarnation of people. Science already proved it today by hypnosis, by hypnotizing people, and the people speaking in different languages. We mentioned it in the previous lectures here. There is another way of a person is being reincarnated, is in animals. Kosher animals or non-kosher animals. It's two different reincarnations for different purposes. Also chickens. one of the reincarnations of some people who did not pass their test in their life when they were in a body of a human being, they are being reincarnated in a chicken, rooster, turkey, all these kinds of chickens. And the correction for this wicked person from previous life, as he was reincarnated in a body of an animal or a chicken, is that a person will slaughter him with a bracha, and once they slaughter him according to the rules of God, the soul will be released from the body, the soul of that person, which was Moshe, Yitzchak, Abraham, whatever his name was, that was reincarnated in that chicken. He's getting released, and finally his suffering is over. That's it. You know now, whatever he is due to receive for his mitzvot are about to start. But there are few conditions here. One is that he will be slaughtered in a kosher way. Second, that he will be eaten by a person that will make bracha when he eats that chicken or that piece of meat. If not, then God forbid, perhaps he will have to be reincarnated from the beginning again. That's why there's a big responsibility when a piece of food comes to you and you don't say bracha. Other than that the Gemara said that you're stealing from God because you have no permission to use it before you first get permission. And permission, the Torah says to say the bracha. There's one blessing before, which is permission, and one blessing after, which is thank you. Two things applies to each kind of food. Also to smell things. When a person smells something, it's like food for the soul. It makes the soul very happy to smell good perfume or flowers or fruits. It cheers up the soul. That's why we do it on Motzei Shabbos. Because on Shabbat we have an extra piece of soul. And for those who are already reach a great level of Shabbos keeping, they can already testify, and I can say it, I'm a witness for that, that once the third meal of Shabbat is ending, and then you see the beginning of the stars starting to come out, you feel some kind of depression. If you don't feel it, that means your level of Shabbat is not yet to the satisfied level. If you are really Shomer Shabbat 100% or even 80%, there's no way in the world that when the Shabbat is about to finish, you don't feel deep depression in your heart, like sadness. And that's why in Havdalah we have to smell. Take a big smell from the mint or from whatever flowers we hold, or perfumes. And that's supposed to cheer up the soul. But before we do it, we have to say bracha. We have to get permission for every kind of pleasure we have. Also, when we wear a new outfit, we have to say a special blessing, Shehecheyanu, that we had the merit to reach this moment that we have a new clothes to wear. Even though we live in generations today that even the poorest people, they still can afford once a year to get a new outfit. And they're not feeling that they won the lottery. We have to remember that in the old days, people sometimes didn't have one outfit once in a lifetime even. They had one outfit for all their life. That's how poor people were. It was very difficult to get. You had to make it on your own. And people, every time it got ripped, they took another piece and put on it, and another piece, and another piece. Over there, that's how people used to wear. Somebody already had two outfits, one for Shabbat, one for weekdays, was considered already somebody lucky. Not only about clothes I'm talking about. I'm talking a generation ago. One generation ago, which is 30 years ago, hardly anyone had tefillin. A family of 7, 8 boys, one pair of tefillin for the entire family if they're lucky. Most of the time they don't even have. The shul had 3 or 4 pairs for 500 people. Nobody can afford to make tefillin like today. To make tefillin takes 1 year and 2 months to prepare the boxes. Handmade. 1 year and 2 months work. To write the parashiot, about 2 days to write it. A few hours a day, most of the day you sit and write. 2 days you have the parashiot. That's not the hard part. The hard part is to make the boxes. This hard box that you see used to be the skin of the cow. Understand? And this is, if you see the process, you'll be amazed how many steps until finally they make a kosher pair of tefillin. Today, The poorest people have almost every Jew has a pair of tefillin, if he wants. Some don't want, unfortunately. But someone who wants, puts $1 a day, in a year he has tefillin, a year and a half. In the end, we have it. So the sad part about this chicken flu is that 500,000 people didn't have the chance to have correction. And that's a Holocaust. Because it's only 500,000 in 4 days. Hopefully I'm wrong, but in another week or two you can get to millions of chickens. The worst part is that we are 3 weeks before Pesach. There will not be any chickens in Israel. And the worst part is that every country in the world suspend import of chickens from Israel, which will put a lot of people out of business. And if now every 5 minutes someone knocks on our doors in Muncie to collect charity, it will be every minute now. Why? Because there will be another few hundreds of families that have no food. But everything happened for a reason. We already learned that. What's the reason that those kibbutzim that grow chickens in Israel got such tragedy on themselves after months of grazing those the chickens all over there, and all of a sudden in one shot they have to kill all of them with a tractor? They pick them all up and bury them. For those of you who saw that today, how they do it. One reason. What's the reason? A few months ago, the Israeli government decided to give a gift to the murderers. What was the gift? Take out towns, kick the Jews out of their homes, and give the land to the terrorists, to the biggest enemies of the Jews in the world today, as a gift for the murders. What did we receive? Nothing. We received nothing from them. It's all clear now, that we received nothing from them, as you saw. It got worse. But those kibbutzim, those 3 kibbutzim that the disease started in them, were the one who helped the Israeli army and the police with the training how to evict those religious Jews out of their home. Not only that, somebody remembered to show pictures today how they were standing up and laughing and enjoying while Jews and families were kicked out of their homes. Only 2-3 months ago. And someone remembered to say today, remember them, how they laugh? 3 months ago when Jews, the farmers, all these religious farmers had to lose their homes, they were standing and laughing. Hashem wrote it down. 2, 3, 4 months later, measure for measure, everything measure for measure. They're out of their home, they're out of their farms, they're out of business. Until today they didn't get their compensation. A lot of them are still moving in caravans, in motels, hotels, without any place, in one room, 9 kids, with their parents until now, in motel. That's it, the life they have until today. Nobody cares. As long as we got them out, now let them wait years until they have a place to live. Now they are the next one. You have to learn from that. Today you laugh at a person and you think 2 minutes later, okay, it's over. No, it's not over. You will get a punishment for that. When? Only God knows. Whenever He chooses, He will do it. A year later, 5 years later, 20 years later. Someone stuttering once came to me and told me, you know why I'm stuttering? I told him why. He said, listen, you see me now, it's nothing compared to the way I was when I was a kid. I just killed myself over the years to stop stuttering. Stuttering. So I told him why. He said, because when my father was young, he used to laugh at one person in his school all the time, that he's stuttering. He was laughing and laughing and laughing, and he got me. Measure for measure. Everything is measure for measure. One person loses money, you're happy, your time will arrive. 1 minute of wickedness, of evilness can destroy your life. It's not a joke. People don't have an idea what they can bring on themselves by the way they behave or stupid things. I'm not talking those newspaper reporters that every day murder the entire community, this community, that community. That's already second, it's like almost like Hitler. Hitler did it. They do it in a different ways. People think, oh, you only kill with a weapon, with a knife, with a gun, wow, with a bomb. Not true. A lot of people, their life were destroyed from one stupid article that he made about this community, and about that group of Jews, and about that group, and that nationality, and this. They made them a stigma, a name, a bad reputation. They carry on this stigma for years. A lot of shidduchim destroyed because of that stupid stigma. This community, they're cheap. Stay away from them. This community, they're angry people. Stay away from them. Somebody started that. This person has to be responsible for every marriage that canceled because of that bad reputation. For every partnership that fall apart because a person is walking around with his mind. These kind of people have to stay away from. Also, another common problem when it comes to finding your soulmate. We only want from this group, nothing else. You stay single until 70. Why? Because God doesn't want you from this group. He wants your soulmate to come from the other group that you don't like so much. He's the boss, not you. You want it, take it. You don't want it, leave it. Leave it, we'll see what's going to come out of you. That's what happened today. Almost in every community you go, so many single guys, 35, 40, 47, 45, never got married once. What's going on here? Well, that's one of the main reasons. Everyone wants to become the boss. Everyone. The parents has a lot to do with that. People don't understand. People don't understand one little thing that you have to understand. If you understand that, everything in your life will be different. There is only one boss, not two. You are not sitting in a management in heaven to decide what's going to be your future. You're nothing. You're dust in the wind. Just something that flew here in the air. If Hashem wants you, He keep you here. He doesn't want you, take you out of here. Put you out of commission. Who do you think you are? People walking with their nose in heaven. I'm the boss. I'm the manager. I am. Learn a little bit from Bill Gates. He was in Israel in front of millions of people. They asked him, what's going to be? He said, I understand my mission. I have to help out people. And I'm convincing all the millionaires, the billionaires to give away all their money for charity. To help miserable people to get medicine, to get help, to get this. And they asked him, does money make a person happy? He said, so of course not. And they say, what are you going to do with your children? He said, I'll leave them a little bit money. Very little. Not even 1% of what he have is going to leave them. And the rest I give to others. Sometimes you have to be jealous with this guy. He reached the right decision without Torah. What are we going to say? The Gemara says, Kashim gerim leIsrael kesapachat. Converts are so hard for the nation of Israel like cancer in the skin. Like a growth. Why? It's a great thing, converts. Why not? Who are those converts? Goyim that stood in Mount Sinai and wanted around, and they wanted, all the nations around, they wanted to receive the Torah, and they couldn't. Why? Because the entire nation, most of them didn't want. So they were forced not to get it. So the Zohar says, Hashem gives every one of these Goyim a chance to convert and to see the truth. That's why one of them lands in Borough Park by mistake. Another one came by mistake to a shul. He was looking for a church. He entered the shul. He heard the drasha from the rabbi. One Christine, her friend, brought her into a lecture in a Georgian shul, and now she's a Jew. All kinds of things that happen. Believe me, it's interesting. Everyone has a chance in a different way. One book got to his hand, a movie that he saw, all of a sudden woke him up to realize that the Jews is something special. Everyone with his way. A show he heard on the radio. Common sense, he was using his common sense, thinking about history. Everyone after those Jews, everyone, all the empires were after them. They all disappeared from the face of the earth, and this little family is always above everyone. No matter what, they always somehow, they are the center of the entire world. Not one generation, every generation. Everywhere you go, it's always the subject. Everyone fight for that little piece of land. They started to realize. The Gemara said there was one guy that bought the cow from a Jew. And the cow lives by an instinct. You know, animals don't have such free choice like we have, so they like programmed. The way you raise them, plus the natural instinct that they're born with, this is how they live. They understand that fire is dangerous. They understand that water is great. They understand where is the danger and where is the great life. They know it. But the cow was already programmed that on Shabbat the cow cannot walk. The Jew is not allowed to use his animals on Shabbat. If he has a horse, he cannot even lend it to a goy. Which means today, if you have a car and your friend wants to borrow it and he's not Shomer Shabbos, you're not allowed to give it to him. Even if he's a goy, you're not allowed to give it to him. Needless to say, if he's a Jew, then it's a big sin on your hand. That somebody will make millions of sins thanks to your property, which you can avoid it from him. And I know what you're going to say. Well, without my car, you rent a car anyway. It's not your calculation to do. You are not the boss. Remember again, you are just one soldier here in this entire creation. Soldier of Hashem. Banim atem Hashem lokechem. I put you here. You have a mission. You do it, fine. You don't do it, you fail. Finished. So the Gemara said that the goy, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the cow work great. He's very happy. He made a great deal. Come Shabbat, the cow doesn't want to move. He pushes it, he pulls it, the cow doesn't move. So what happened? This is a temporary cow, disposable, used for 6 days and finished. He calls the Jew back, he's angry, what's going on here? So the Jew say, hold on 1 second, take it easy. Comes to the cow, we whisper to the ear of the cow, the Gemara say a few words. Then the cow started to walk. The guy say, hey, wait a minute, what is this, magic here? I don't want this cow. It's some kind of magic you did. The next thing I'm going to die, you can't take it back. So he said, no, don't worry. He said, no. Yeah, it's not that easy. Listen. You want me to keep the cow? You want to keep the money in one condition. You tell me what you say to the ear of the cow. So he said, I tell you, we are the Jews. The Torah says that we, our children, our slaves, our animals, every property of us have to rest 1 day a week. The cow is not understanding that there's a new owner now. Shabbat, it doesn't want to work. So I told the cow, now you're allowed. Your owner is not me. I sold you to the goy. You can work on Shabbat. Then she started to walk. So the goy started to think. He was clever, that goy. The goy say, if this animal, without any free choice and no common sense, understanding the boss of this creation, I don't understand. I'm worse than this cow. The Gemara say he converted and became one of the greatest Tanaim in the Jewish history. So in that case, it's great to have such converts. Rabbi Meir is from descendants of converts. Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. Rabbi Akiva from descendants of converts. Shmaya and Naftalion, the rabbis, 2 converts. The son, the nephew of Titus, the one who destroyed, the Roman that destroyed the Bet HaMikdash, is Unculus. You read him in a Chumash every Shabbat. He's a convert. You know how many converts he have? Like shining diamonds.
David HaMelech.
David HaMelech from descendants of Ruth, a Moaviyah, another convert, and so forth and so on. Rachav, the wife of Yoshua ben Nun, convert. So Baruch Hashem, there's shining diamonds. But the Gemara says, they are like cancer. It's like a cancer in the body of the person. Why? One of the answers is, pay attention, that when a Jew comes after 120 years to Hashem and they review his life from A to Z, where did you go to live? Which shul you went to? Which yeshiva you went to learn? How much charity you did? How did you pray? And so forth and so on. Every excuse he's gonna do is gonna say, they bring right away one of these converts, and you know when they convert for real, it's very difficult for us to reach their level, how serious they are. Because remember, they already knew this is the truth and we are giving up everything we are used to. I had one convert a few years ago in Mill Basin in Brooklyn, young, Goya, from a very, very wealthy family. She has her and her sister, and she already have a will of her father, $20 million on her name. She came to one lecture, and of course I didn't know she's not Jewish. Somebody brought her in. And in the end of the lecture, she said that she decided that that's the right way. and her family is strictly Catholic. And when they heard that, ooh, wow, it was a nightmare for them. And of course, after trying to convince her, the father said, I remove you from the will. And she said, I don't care. If that's the truth, that's the truth. She was already smart enough after one lecture. This is what I don't get sometimes. Why they understand and we sometimes don't. After one lecture, she was smart enough to know that the one who gave her the $20 million is not her father, is the Father in heaven. And if he doesn't want, she won't get it through her father anyway. He will lose it before she will get it. It's all in his hand. She realized, who gives the parnasa? If I move to Miami, I have more parnasa, like some fool says. Hashem needs you to go there to send you the money. What, it's limited? Cannot give it to you in New York? Cannot give it to you in Jerusalem? What is this nonsense? Someone who thinks that way, not only is not a believer in Hashem, not only is not a believer, he's a complete kofar. He has not 1 gram of faith. Not 1 gram of faith. One in Tzfat 500 years ago, there was one ignorant Jew. And he used to come on Shabbat to the lecture of the Al-Sheikh HaKadosh. The holy Al-Sheikh was in the generation of the Ari HaKadosh and Rabbi Yosef Karo, the writer of Shulchan Aruch. And he went to the lecture on the Parashat, Shabbat. He sits in a crowd and the rabbi say, you have to understand the secrets of life is faith. The more faith you have in Hashem, the easier your life becomes. 2 reasons. 1, you get a lot more than before. Because Hashem loves you. So, this person trusts me 100%. Why shouldn't I give him? That's one reason. Second reason, that even if you want something and you don't get it after all your prayers and your confidence and faith and everything, because it wasn't good for you. Hashem hears that you want it, but He knows better for you what's good for you. And He doesn't want to give it to you. He doesn't want to destroy you. He knows where it's going to lead you to if you get this, whatever you wish for. So when a person prays and he doesn't get, he knows it's all for good. Why should I kill myself? So the Al-Sheikh was saying to the crowd, if a person trusts God 100% to get all his needs, 100%, everything he needs really, he will get. If he has problems with his faith, it will be much harder to get it. So, you know how it is. People started to ask questions, so that means if I come, I sit and learn Torah all day, I'm still going to make the same amount of money? Say perhaps the same, or maybe even more. Work was never the reason to make money. I give you a list of thousands of people that made a lot of money without working one day of their life. It's not that formula, the more you work, the more you make. We never saw that that's the case. The opposite. Some people that hardly work, all those that make 2, 5, 10 phone calls on a deal, they make millions. When yet people that work from morning to midnight, killing themselves, 40 years, they don't work. What this lawyer make 2 phone calls and made, or a broker? Ignorant broker. He went to a 2 months course, real estate, he sold a building in Manhattan. 6%, $25 million commission. 6 months he's in America. Came from Israel 6 months. It's a real story. 6 months, sold a building in 8th Avenue to some Persian Jews. How did he meet? How did he know to do the deal? He used to be my friend 12 years ago. Maybe finally he will wake up, this guy. So we used to come to his building, 8th Avenue. That's the address. You ever go on 8th Avenue, I think 56, 55, 53, that area. Close to the plaza.
57.
57? No, it's before 57.
Yeah, between 50 and 6. Yeah.
Remember, 888.
Oh,
you go on 8th Avenue, it's on the right. There was a Spanish doorman, like this, small. Sammy, his name. Alav Shalom. He died from AIDS. But he was Puerto Rican. Like Rabbi Aderet says, Chutot Agen Alav. His merit will protect him. So he was a friendly Puerto Rican guy, you know. All these big shots that come to the building, nobody even say hi to him. Let me just get the key or whatever, the mail, and let me move on. Here come 2 Israeli guys, young, they nice to him. How are you, Sammy? Just relationship. The Gemara say every person you see, you have to be the first one to say hello to him. The first one, even if he's a goy. Doesn't matter who he is. You have to be the first one to say hi. So, he used to be friendly with him. Sammy, how are you? Hey, laughing, hearing the nonsense that he say, making him feel good. One day this Sammy heard the owner wants to sell the building. The first one he heard the management speaking, he knew that this guy started in real estate, running around, making $500 here, $1,000 there, commission. It used to be very hard time in Manhattan. The buildings used to give a month commission, a month, 1 month rent free, not like today you beg to get an apartment. They used to give you a month free in order for you to take the apartment. That's how hard business was. So, he ran to him, he knocked on his door, hey, come. You in real estate, right? Run to the owner, he wants to sell the building. He went, he signed an exclusive, he found some Persian guys, they bought the building, became today's worth tens of millions of dollars, thanks to that deal. College, education. I saw a lot of this college education where they are today. Sometimes they come to the interview, they say you're overqualified. You have 5 degrees, overqualified. He needs to call me up, can you lend me money for crib? I have a baby, $200, I need to buy a crib. I'm thinking to myself, look at me, 2 years in America, hardly speaks English. Talking history here. And this guy, Harvard, Columbia, the Hebrew University, MTG, there's another big college. Almost every great college he went and he got a degree. Every job, every place he goes, he doesn't get the job. Why? The president or the vice president or the controller, whoever is interviewing, he says, if I accept this guy to work, 6 months from now he's going to sit in my chair. He's a genius. Look at his resume. Sir, you're overqualified. Sometimes to learn too much in college is worse. But where you need me to tell you this? It's right in the words of King Solomon. What did he say? Lo lachachamim lechem. Wisdom, knowledge, education does not bring wealth. I once went to Flatbush Avenue to sign an application with a guy, an Israeli guy. He has 6 stores, 6 jeans and sneaker stores. Chain. I bring out the application, I want to sell him a credit card machine. 12, 14 years ago, who knows? I look at him, he takes a box with ink, puts his finger in, and he puts in the application. I said, it's not good, you have to write, he has to go through all the copies. He said, that's my signature. I said, no, but you have to write. He said, I don't know, that's my signature. Then through the conversation, I realized he doesn't even know how to write his name in English. It's many years in America, he doesn't know how to write his name in English. Understand what we're talking here about? But he has 6 stores. Why? He was in Columbia University. Whatever. You hear it all the time. Your heart is shrinking from all this nonsense that I hear every day. I don't want to go on a date with this guy. Why? He doesn't have a college degree. I never saw in the Torah that one of the conditions to get a righteous man is that he has a college degree, or a woman. This is people made it up. Who made it up? The worst people in the history, the Goyim, the Greeks, the Americans, the Germans, the French, all God's haters. They made those rules. Who said we have to follow it? Who? Who made it up? That's how we are like fish, swimming with everyone. If you're alive, you go against everyone. You have the truth. You become Avraham Avinu. So the Gemara say the Goyim is like cancer in the skin. Why? Because when we come after 120 years, every excuse we're going to say is going to bring us Chris and Isaac and John, all these converts, and say, look, your environment was harder than them. Look where they come from. You're not going to have excuses. After 1 or 2 cases you're going to see, say, sorry. Mara said there was a goy, his name is Ktia Bar Shalom. That was his name, Ktia. His name already shows us his life story. He was a goy, and the Caesar of Rome that came to the area of Israel, he was in charge. He said, someone who has a growth in his leg, what's better, to cut the leg and save the body, or to keep the leg on the body as long as we can. Maybe a few more years he's going to live, but with 2 legs. So of course, what everyone said, cut the leg. And he jumped and say, he was one of the advisors. He says to the king, no, leave the leg connected to the body and drag it as much as you can. What was the idea? People used to be very intelligent in those days. Even those Greeks, the Romans, you see through the Gemara, they had some kind of knowledge. So the idea was that the Caesar occupied Israel, and the Jews is always like a pin in the neck, like they say. They want to get rid of them. Who wants all these people? They go with this lulav in Sukkot, they make Sukkot on the street, tefillin, this. You know, everyone used to go with tefillin on the street. All day, all night, the ones who can afford tefillin. They had it under the hat, they had tefillin, under the kilt. That's it, all day. People walking, moving, in the farmers, you know, whatever they do, they had tefillin on their body all the time. So he says, he knew that he's planning to destroy the Jews. Finally, I occupy them. Let's get rid of them. So he told him, no. So he told him, why not? He said, because if you kill them, everyone will say that this little nation were the only one you couldn't resist. You could not control. You were afraid of them, that's why you killed them. Sound a little bit similar to what Moshe Rabbeinu told God when that's what we're going to say soon in a parasha, that they made a golden calf. And Hashem said, listen, leave me alone. Let me destroy them and I will start a new Judaism from you. No, entire nation. So Hashem tell him, leave me alone. Like he's holding him. Hold me that I won't kill him, you know. Hold me that I won't kill him. That means, you know, I don't want to kill him. That's why I can't say. So Hashem told him, leave me alone, let me destroy them. So what did he say? No, don't destroy them. If you're going to destroy them, what are the Goyim going to say in his story? That you couldn't get them to the Holy Land that you promised, that's why you killed them in the desert. And it worked. Supposedly. This is what you see from the outside. So this K'tia Bar Shalom, the king told him, okay, I got your point, and you're right. You win the argument. But someone who wins the argument in public against the king, his death is necessary. Take him to just kill him, execute him. As they grab him, he walks like this, they take him. How they used to kill the people? They used to put a house and they put sand. They throw sand and there's dust. You see the dust, how the dust comes? A person cannot breathe. He breathes the sand, the dust, and he dies. That's how they used to kill them. As they take him to that place, one lady, Goya, was standing over there, and she says, how sad when a boat brings merchandise from one country to the other, cross the entire ocean, and finally get to the border of the new land and doesn't have the money to pay the duty. Which means they have to go all the way back to where they came from and bring money that they'll be able to bring the merchandise in. And why was she telling him this story? Because she wanted him to know, you fool, you came, you fight for those Jews, you saved their life now, and what did you get out of it? At least you'd convert, you become a Jew, you had a part of the world to come. That's what she wanted to tell him. You come all the way to the gate of heaven and you don't have the duty to go in. What's the duty? Circumcision. Cannot enter Olam Haba if you're not circumcised. So he circumcised himself in his last moments. And the Gemara says, he said, I paid my duty. The Gemara said there's an echo came from heaven, all the Chachamim that were standing there heard. And then later in the yeshiva they told everyone, you should know that when this guy did it, there was an echo in heaven, K'tia Bar Shalom is welcome to the world of eternity. Mezuman l'chaya olam haba. No, a guy like this puts us into trouble. Big problem. And you know what? We don't have to go to the goyim. The extra righteous people today in the world, those who reach very high levels, also put us on the spot. Why? Because every excuse you're going to make, they're going to show you one guy in Jerusalem, in Bnei Brak, in Brooklyn, whatever. All the tzaddikim that lives there say, hey, why do you think for you it's difficult and for him it's not? What are you going to say? Oh, girls, Modesty. Modesty. You have to know, all these girls, once for all, you have to understand the importance of modesty. We talk about it, but it seems to me that nobody really gets the message. Modesty is the most important mitzvah for a Jewish lady. Before everything else, before charity, before Shabbat, before kosher food, before helping the poor, before doing all kinds of mitzvot, one mitzvah is number one. It's modesty, the way she dressed, the way she talk in front of men, the way she behave, and so forth and so on. There used to be in Morocco a girl, her name was Sulika. Sulika. Until this moment as we speak, there are Muslims in Morocco go to prayer in her grave every day. Jewish young girl. What was her story? She was in Morocco, and the prince, the Muslim prince, liked her. She was very pretty. And he came to her home and he told her parents, I want to marry your daughter. What Jew wants his daughter to marry this Muslim prince? So what can they do? She doesn't marry him, they kill her, one of the two. She refused. They take her, they give her all kinds of punishments, pressure. They try both ways. We'll give you treasures, we'll give you this, we'll make your family wealthy, everything, just agree. She does not agree. Then in the end they give her an ultimatum. They say, listen, by tomorrow 3 o'clock, if you don't convert to Islam and marry the prince, we will kill you in the center of the town. Well, how are we going to kill you? We'll tie your hands to the horse, and one guy will ride the horse, and you will be dragged. And remember, they didn't have roads like today. They have roads with stones and sand. Will carry you all over town until everyone will see how you die. How many people today will survive such threat? How many? Maybe few, but the day arrived. The next day, 3 o'clock, they tie her to the horse and the guy begins to ride. After 5 minutes, sand goes into her mouth, into her face, into her eyes, all her body's lines of blood. She says, stop! They stop. Everyone got happy. We broke her spirits. She said, no, you're giving up? Take care of her, quick, where is the doctor? She said, wait, not that fast. You have a safety pin. She said, you have a safety pin? Safety pin. Now in this tragedy, she wants a safety pin. What reason she wants a safety pin for? They bring her a safety pin, they're curious, the Muslims, they're curious, what is she going to do? Guess what she did? She took the safety pin, she had a skirt. While she was dragged on the floor, her skirt was flying. She wasn't so modest. She took the safety pin, there was no way to put the skirts that it won't fly, and she connected it to her flesh, to her skin, with a needle. Like this, she said, now you can go on. And the Muslims, those who were there as the story is brought up, the Muslims that were standing there started to cry. These evil Ishmaelim. Why? Then they saw the level of this holy girl. Until today in Morocco, if you ever go to Morocco, you tell the Muslims, Arabs there, where is the grave of Sulika? Everyone knows. In Morocco. They treat the grave of Sulika like almost like the grave of Muhammad. Lehavdi. Why? Modest woman. Modest woman. Modesty. Modesty. It's so important. It's the most important thing in life. That's it. That's what God revealed first. Nothing basically will help a woman that walk half naked on the street and everyone looks at her and then she comes and bring up her mitzvot. Who would want to see your mitzvot when you behave like half animal or entire? Machti Arabim, remember these words of mine. Don't ever forget them. It applies to women and to men. You have to know. There are two levels of sinners. Sinners who make sin on their own. It's between me and Hashem. I'll pay for it. It's my responsibility. That's one category. And there's a worse category. Sin and influence others to sins. DJs, mixed dancing, bringing people together, making clothes for the entire public that is not according to the law of the Torah, convincing people to go to all kinds of bad places. Let's go on vacation. Where? What's this name? Cancun. We'll do Pesach in Cancun. The most important day of the year. They want to be there with all this behemoth. And he thinks, what's the problem? What do you want? I'm still keeping. We ate kosher. We brought our own kosher food. Sitting there with all the Mexicans and these that eat pork day and night and bow down to their idols together in the same place and say, we did. We kept kosher. Rabbi, what do you want? We bought our own matzah. Cost me $16 a pound. I carry it in a plane. Beautiful. People dreaming, you know. You have to understand. Talking and talking, it seems like it comes from here and it doesn't even go for a second. How is it possible that you talk to so many people and 1 out of 100 finally change? What's going on here? The people are so stubborn? That's what this parasha says. What was the word of Hashem? Am kshe oref. Stubborn. Kshe oref, it's an expression in Hebrew which means stubborn. Likes to rebel against the truth. This parasha starts with one rule that we have to know. Be very careful from ayin hara. The more you show, the more you get hurt. The more your wedding is flashy, the more chances this wedding will fall apart, this marriage. People are dying. $500,000, $50,000 for each band, 5 bands, the best food, 10 different things in the menu, $20,000 on flowers, bringing this Rolls Royce and that one, and paying for this, and bringing a horse into the place, whatever. Every day making up a new stupid things. 3 months later, divorce. Same Rabbanut, come to Manhattan, to the court, or to Brooklyn, Rabbi, 3 months later. Why? That's one of the reasons. They thought about everything possible to get attention. Hashem said, fine, this is the way you want to do it. Now I just heard today, I'm supposed to give a lecture in Staten Island. I gave a lecture there a few years ago in that place. This person is going to marry a girl, that this girl supposedly has a very important job. She is the designer of the clothes of one of the most important rappers in America right now. A girl, she's supposedly the #1 rapper in the world now. Very, very rich entertainer. And now she's going to marry a guy which is also a DJ, famous DJ. Going to make a wedding, and who's going to come to stand under the chuppah? All these people with the gold suits, the rappers with the tattoos and this, that's how they're going to, I don't know their names, you know, I mean, these animals are going to stand under the chuppah. Why? Because they know how to move. People don't think. I got an urgent phone call, do me a favor, maybe you can change that bad decree, these people don't understand. And this is people who Shomer Shabbos already. People, there are a few things I never understand. One of the things is, people make Leila Seder. Make Leila Seder. And they have relatives and friends. Unfortunately, some of them in mixed marriage, intermarriage. And they bring these people with their goyim into the Leila Seder stable. How can it be? The entire Leila Seder is a symbol how finally we got rid of the choking hand of these Gentiles. How much we suffer in history from them. Finally, Leila Seder is a night of the year that we thank Hashem that saved us from them. And what do? We bring them into the table. Couldn't wait 1 day a year not to bring them. Or Shabbat. We do Kiddush, and she stands, the lady from Texas. Standing in it. Rabbi, is it okay I'm standing here? He has to make Kiddush for her. Not that I have anything personal against them. Don't get me wrong. They may be nice people. They may be intelligent. Some of them has very good heart. Don't get me wrong. But we are limited. We are binded for what the book tells us. Finished. It's not our own opinion. We like them, we don't like them, we want to be friends with them, and regardless, put it aside. We have rules. What does the Torah say? Today, I'm changing you from the entire nations. You're not the same anymore. Finished. You cannot go. Water and fire does not go together anymore. You got it? You like it? Fine. You don't like it? Also fine. I want to ask you a question. Actually, last week, I started to ask you this question, and on the way home, I remember I didn't finish it. So now, Baruch Hashem, it came back. Shaul HaMelech, King Shaul, Saul, had a mission to destroy the entire nation of Amalek. It's a very bad nation. And he did almost everything. He did 99.9999%. He left one person the king. He had mercy on him. In the meantime, he made a lady pregnant. And by the time Hashem sent the prophet Samuel to him, he told him, hey, what did you do? Why you didn't kill the sheep? Why this king is still alive? So what did Shaul say? What do you want from me? I only did what the entire nation told me to. They didn't want to kill the sheep. We want to bring it to Hashem. We want to sacrifice all these sheep to Hashem. Why should we kill them? What did the animals do? There's only one problem, that Hashem told him very clearly, kill everyone, even the animals.